Hey, everybody. We'll give everyone a couple of seconds here to join. Excited to chat with everybody today on how to best use the BusyBusy free app. And just some housekeeping as we get started here. Just double check in. So chat is open, working for everybody. So feel free to chat in where you're from, where you're tuning in from, and we'll give everyone just 30 more seconds here to drop in. But other than that, we should be good to get going here in just one more second. All right. Looks like attendance is we're slowing down. Albuquerque, awesome. I love it. So as we get started, any questions you guys have, feel free to drop those in the chat or in the Q&A box. Ontario, from James, love it. We got Canada, Florida, New Mexico. So feel free to use that chat box. Any questions that come up, and then one thing to note as well is we'll send out a recording of this webinar. So no worries in terms of anything there. We can get that sent out to you. As we get started though, just to gauge where everyone's at, if y'all don't mind throwing in the chat, what are you doing right now to track your time? Using paper time cards? Are you already using the BusyBusy free app? What are you doing now? Okay, paper timesheets. We see that a lot. Web forms, see that a lot as we chat with companies. Awesome. Okay, well let's go ahead and get started, and I will start sharing my screen to look at the BusyBusy app here. So one thing to note, and Bracken, you can see my screen, right? We got everything up. Awesome. So
yep, everything looks good.
Awesome. And James saw that you're just getting started with BusyBusy. Awesome. And so here I've got the app just mirrored onto my computer. So this is what it looks like for employees or for you guys as owners and admins to look at the app, get insight on just your phone. So one cool thing we have here is employees can view and sign their time cards for previous weeks. So this is a liability feature we've put into the app. Helps mitigate any potential like disagreements or uncomfortable conversations with employees on like, hey, I actually worked this many hours a month ago and I need to be paid 5 hours, where this just makes that really simple. So here I can come in as the employee. Here's my time card for last week, and I can go ahead and view that. I've got my 40 hours. Everything looks great. I'm going to hit sign, and I'll go ahead and sign that. It's not flipping over for you guys. It's weird. So I just go ahead and sign that, verifying, yep, time's accurate. I'm good to go. And then as an employee, I can just come right back to here, and I'm going to hit that big blue button to start clocking in, getting ready for the day. One thing to note just right here is a lot of the things that we do and build in BusyBusy are designed to be as simple as possible for employees and for everyone out in the field, because we know that if it's complex or if it takes too long, they just won't do it. And then as a company, you're not going to get that data back in the office to use for job costing or for invoicing and estimating in the future. So one, I would just note that a lot of what we're doing here is just tried to be geared as simple as possible. So GPS here, I can see I'm in our BusyBusy office, and I've turned on this demo account that I require that everyone grab the job they're working on for the day. So I'll go ahead and just say, okay, great, I'm working at the BusyBusy renovation job. And then you can be as specific as you want here. And so some companies just want to track time to the job, and some want to track time even as more specifically to like the cost code or task that's being worked on. So I'll just show what that looks like if you are already tracking time to like specific cost codes, whether it be excavation or plumbing, electrical, whatever is specific for your trade. I'll go ahead and hit done, and I'm clocked in. So I've already had a couple minutes clocked in here, but I am clocked in. I'm good to go. I can put my phone away and go to work. Another thing to note, though, as I go about my day, if there are any notes or anything here I want to add and say, hey, want to make you guys aware in the office that we had this issue or we were able to resolve this piece of something, I can add these descriptions and come back and continue to add that whenever I need to. I can also switch from job to job or task to task. So for example, like if I'm saying in this example, if I'm a remodeler doing some electrical, doing some flooring, I'm just switching over to flooring now. I want to track that. I just go ahead and switch and it just switches me over. So it keeps that pretty simple there. And then just curious, again in the chat, is everyone already doing job costing, like tracking time to the job, or is that something that you're looking to get started with? What's everyone doing there now that we kind of walked through that? And even just dropping like a yes or no even is easy enough as well. Nice. Awesome. And that's typically what we hear is folks are trying to keep up with it, or they are doing it. This makes it really easy to have those guys track time to that specific job. Any questions? I mean, I think we've covered the basics of what it looks like to have the employees track time to that job, even to the task. If I'm done for the day, I hit clock out and I'm done. April, will the techs be responsible to enter cost codes? So they would be, unless, so on our free app that we're looking at here, they would be responsible for entering in that cost code of, here's what the task that I'm working on. One pro feature we do have is our scheduling feature. And with that, you can schedule out employees at the job level as well as the cost code level. So they could even just, they hit clock in right from their schedule and it will auto-populate the job and cost code for them. So that is an option on the pro version, but on the free, they would be responsible for entering that themselves. And one thing to note, though, is you can also scope those. So if there are specific cost codes you want them working on for each individual job, you can specify which cost codes you want used for each job.
And then just to cut in here, because I understood the question in a different way, so wanting to make sure we answer it on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
April, if you're asking if the techs are responsible for creating the cost codes, that is not necessarily something they need to be responsible for. It can be set up based on how you as the admin or owner want it to be. So if you want to be in charge of entering the cost codes, then you can create them and then they can select them for their job.
That's a great, clarification. Typically that cost code is being created in the office by the admin for the employee to then easily track time to. And then it doesn't appear like on my time card here. This is just my total time. In fact, and I'm actually done with the phone app at this point. So jumping over to the dashboard, which is typically where an admin or owner is going to spend their time. When I come down to my time cards here to the time entries, I can see for this week what's already been worked on. So I've got a couple of employees here I've got logged in, and you can see here on Bracken, she has worked on those cost codes and I can see what she's worked on. So those are going to come into the time card. You can get that view of specifically what they've worked on. And then one thing to cover as well is the GPS with our free version. It covers, Les, thanks for the clarification. So you can just turn those cost codes off. So it's a decision for you as a business. You can toggle those on or off. So for anyone who's not using cost codes, you toggle those off. Employees won't even see them. They'll just clock into the project and go to work. And those will not appear on the timesheet. On GPS, though, to jump back into GPS, so GPS on the free version, when they clock in, when they switch from job to job, and when they clock out, you are going to get a GPS pin drop. So here's the couple of ones I just dropped here. So we can see here's the project I'm working on, and then here is my clock in and clock out, which is what I did with you all. So you can see what that GPS looks like. On our Pro version, there's a couple additional GPS features like breadcrumbing, so you can see where they go throughout the day, as well as you can do like on-site verification, which would require that they be inside the geofence that I just showed in order to clock in. So for example, I missed the geofence here. Here we go. So for example, if I was like over here, I would not be able to clock into this job because I have to be inside this blue circle. So that's a pro feature, but if you're just trying to see where they're clocking in at, clocking out at, that's what the free version is for here. And then to jump into, so talking through a little bit, like how do you guys create employees? How do you create jobs, cost codes, all of that? It's all in the management list here. So here are all of the employees I have right now. If I added a new employee, hired somebody else, I would just enter out their information. You create as the owner admin their username and password. And then if you put in their contact information, I always recommend that a company, when they enter new employees, that they don't need an email, but put in their cell number. And that way they're able to get a text that will help them link directly to the app. It'll help them download the app. You let them know what their username and temporary password is, and they can get set up really easily. Projects, same thing. So I'll just even select one here. So here is all the information I have in terms of the name, project number, and I can add that even. I'll just show the GPS here of what that looks like. So if you have the actual address for the job, I'll just go ahead and select our office here. So here's that geofence. I can shrink that down a little bit, zoom in here, and let's say, just for argument's sake, I am working on this restaurant over here, doing a remodel. I can come in here, drop that GPS on there, and then go ahead and update that. And when I update that, I can also turn on a reminder. So this is another free GPS feature you can also use on Pro, is I can enable location reminders. So that way, when the employees drive into that geofence, it'll remind them saying, hey, looks like you need to clock into that Bluff Street job. And as they leave, it'll ask them to clock out if they've not already done so. So that's really, really helpful, especially for everyone here who's mentioned that they're using paper time cards, just to get that muscle memory going for the employees. And then cost codes, like we talked about, if you're using cost codes, you can create those here and enter in what the cost code is. If you even have like a unit of measurement you're trying to track against, a description, you want to add clarity there, or you can just toggle that right off and the employees won't even see it. So it's completely up to you on what that looks like. We already jumped into, so this payroll report is what I would call it. So I have the ability to come even back to last week. And this report on free never goes away. So you can go back as many weeks as you'd like. So here I can see Monday through Friday, what Bracken worked, what James worked, and what I worked. And so this is the information that I can either send over to my accountant, enter into QuickBooks myself, and get this entered in for payroll, as well as just for job costing purposes. And then another thing to note here is that looking at our activity reports, so by projects, this allows you from like a job costing perspective to see, okay, what jobs have been worked on this week. So I've only worked on the 2435 East job this week. Now I can break it down and see, okay, great, who all's worked on this job, how many hours have they spent, as well as if you're using cost codes or tasks, you can see what tasks have been worked on. Or even jumping back to employees, I can click in and say, okay, well, I want to see specifically what Ryan's done on this job, and then here's the breakdown of the work I've done on this specific job. I feel like we've covered quite a bit here in looking at the dashboard. Are there any questions up to this point? Awesome. And one thing to note here as well, like when we're talking to companies here at BusyBusy, the difference between being profitable and not profitable is typically the variable cost of labor on a job. Materials are once you purchase them, they're a fixed cost. It's pretty easy to track that. Where typically when we have conversations with contractors, it's the labor costs that typically eats up the profit on the job. So this is where most companies are purchasing BusyBusy to help eliminate that, get better visibility into what hours are we spending on which jobs, especially when like employees are using paper time cards. Even with the best of efforts, sometimes you'll have guys filling their time cards out at the end of the week, guessing which hours went to which job, and suddenly you have inaccurate job costing, which can cost you as a business owner hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And then last thing here to just continue to walk through this is jumping into company settings. So this is where you have the ability to dive in and go specifically choose what you want done on your account. So I've got right here my project required. So that means that the employees went on this site, and I'll even just bounce back to my app really quick. So going back up here. So when I hit clock in, you can see right here, it's required that the employee grabs a project in order to clock in. And so as a company, you can decide if you want to require them to select a project. If you are a company that is using cost codes or tracking by task, you can require that as well. Or even one thing I haven't touched on is if you're a heavy equipment company and you want to track time to a skid steer or an excavator, you can do that here and even require that as well. So it's up to you what you want to require here, as well as like default times, time rounding. You can turn on and off. It's completely up to you. And then Matthew, great question on can you manually enter your time card at the end of the day if you forgot to clock in? That is up to you based on positions. And so that's in here under positions. You get to decide. There's 4 positions on the free. On the pro version of BusyBusy, that's $10 a month. You can add as many positions here as you want and customize them. So for example, just on our free version here, I can see what I have the ability to do. So I can't manage time for anybody else. I can track time for myself, and I can't edit my time. So if you wanted to allow employees to edit their time, you just need to make them, I think it's a manager. Yeah, so that way they can edit their time, and they would just do that. They would just make a time entry, go, oh shoot, I forgot to enter my time for today. They could enter in the job they worked, task if required, and then they would put in the time they worked that day, hit done, and it would create that time entry for them. So they do have the ability to do that if you allow them to. Otherwise, it's a, hey, I need you guys to clock in, clock out, and make sure you're taking care of that. April, so if you have a project foreman and you're wanting to have him add helpers or like attach crew members to the job and even track time for them, you can do that. It's using our supervisor tool, but that is a pro feature. And so if that's something that makes sense for you, we can even do like a one-on-one demo, and I can show you what that looks like. But that is possible for the foreman to do that through the supervisor tools really easily. You can do it here as well. So if I am like a foreman, I can come in and I can add time for Bracken, but it's pretty clunky that way. Okay, April, perfect. I'll actually even just, while we're doing this, before I forget, in general, I'll actually just send out like a meeting link where if anyone wants to do a 30-minute walkthrough, specifically how you guys need it, feel free to just grab that link, schedule a time that works for you, and we can get that scheduled. But yeah, so jumping back into the settings here, you can also manage your pay period, overtime, what that looks like, what you want it to be, as well as overtime, setting if that's like over 40 hours or if it's more than 8 hours a day. Positions we already hit on, and then integrations. Just to note, this is a pro feature. So if you guys are using QuickBooks and you want it to sync over, or Procore or anything like that, that is something that is available, but it is available through Pro. So you do have to have a Pro account in order to sync those. There's not an overtime limit on the app. So it's not going to ever, there's a lot of liability around like not letting employees clock in or automatically clocking employees out. So we stay away from all of that. So we're never going to stop an employee from clocking in. That would be something that it would be up to you guys as the business owners or managers to make sure that you don't have anybody going crazy on you. Then one question that just came through on the Q&A here is, can you take photos on BusyBusy? And you can. I'll actually just show it. So here I'm on the free version here. Right here is where that icon appears. And I'll even just bounce over to my pro account just to show you the difference of that. Oh, swiped out of my account here. Okay, so there's that camera icon. So if you do have employees taking photos right now, if you want them to take photos and have it tied directly to the project, add notes, you can do all of that. It is just done through the Pro product. So I can even just add a project to that, hit done, and that photo is saved. So a little tangent there, but getting that covered. Awesome. Well, any other questions at this point? I feel like we've gotten pretty much everything covered here except the map, which I'll show now. All right, so I wanted to just clock in here so you guys could see this. I can even grab the specific project. So here's our universal map. You can come on here and see who do you have clocked in, who's clocked out, or not who's clocked out, but who's clocked in, what projects are being worked on. If you are an equipment company, what pieces of equipment are being used. You're able to capture all of that. And so here is me, here's the job I'm on. And then if I clock out, I'll just disappear off of this. If I just hit a refresh here, it'll unpopulate that. So if you have 5, 6 employees running around, you will be able to see on this map where they are, what jobs they should be on, all of that information. April, great question. So it does integrate with QuickBooks, and that's both QuickBooks desktop and online. And so what that does is all of the project creation I showed here, adding employees, all of that you can just continue to do in QuickBooks. And then that project, those employees in QuickBooks will all just sync over to BusyBusy. And then as the employees track time to those jobs in BusyBusy, all of that time will just track back into QuickBooks. So you'll be able to have everything like for payroll in QuickBooks, as well as if you're doing job costing in QuickBooks, it will all populate there as well. So it's a two-way sync, makes it really easy. April, your second question, we can track the GPS of the location based on the employee's phone. We don't do actual like asset tracking of equipment. So if I'm an employee and I'm tracking time like to an excavator or a skid steer, I'll even just clock in here and show you what it looks like. So if I'm at this job, I'm using this skid steer, hit done, it'll show like that I use that piece of equipment, and it will use my GPS on my phone to tell me where I'm using it. So if I even wanted to jump back to the map here, So here's me. I'll even add, I want to see equipment as well. Great, here's that skid steer I'm using. And it's just using my GPS on my phone to do that, which I'm hoping answers your question there.
We had another question come in through the Q&A, Ryan, that kind of ties in with April's question about integrating to QuickBooks. We're being asked if we integrate with other accounting softwares, not necessarily QuickBooks.
Yeah, great question, and we do. So as a time tracking app for construction companies, we integrate with most accounting systems, most payroll systems. So whether you're using like ADP or Gusto for payroll, or if you're using like QuickBooks or Sage or Foundation, we do integrate with all of those systems, and try and make your guys' life as easy as possible and eliminate those manual entries of time or of projects.
Awesome. And then I have another question in the Q&A. So if you guys have any other questions, we still have a few more minutes. You're wanting to keep it around that 30-minute mark. So feel free to chat those in or hit the Q&A. But next question I have is about sub projects or sub phases. Is that something that BusyBusy can accommodate?
It is, and actually it ties into your question, April, on do we integrate with QuickBooks. A lot of companies use QuickBooks as they'll have the customer, which is like the GC or the main customer, and then they'll have sub customers, right, or projects. And we can do that hierarchy in BusyBusy. So if I jump to projects here, and let's say I'll just add it to my Bluff job. So here's my sub projects. So I can even just create a sub project now. And I'll even just name it sub project, and I can add all of this. The only thing that's required is the name. So I'll just hit create here and let that populate. So here you can see the hierarchy of Bluff Street to sub project. And so with all of your information in QuickBooks, it's gonna pull all of that over accurately in the correct hierarchy. And then as an employee, I can track time to that actual project or sub job, sub customer, and it will track to that sub customer as well as up to that parent customer. So we do have the ability to do that as well. And as you can all imagine, there are companies that want to track different jobs in phases, or use that specific sub project in different ways. So there are multiple ways companies can use that.
Nice. Okay, I have two more questions right now. So one of them is, let's see. So I'm an employee, but I take care of payroll for the company. Will this be a hassle switching back and forth between admin and employee? Will I have to keep logging into my boss's account to start payroll and so on and so forth?
Okay. Yeah, great question. I'm hoping I'm saying your name here correctly, Kaylin. So what I would recommend is if you are the one running payroll, it's not a hassle to switch back and forth. And you even just saw how easy it was for me to switch back and forth from my pro account to my free account. But what I would even recommend is you could just have the owner make you like a manager or an admin in the account. And that way you don't have to switch back and forth. You can still run payroll. You're still able to track your own time, and run it that way. And there's like if your boss is concerned about like you being able to edit your own time on a day-to-day, there are like logs where it will show who's managing the time. If anyone edits time, it will populate all of that and give a breakdown of an audit of who's editing time. But that would be my recommendation there. But if he wants you to toggle between those two, it's pretty easy to do.
I would say it's definitely worth a further conversation with you and your boss based on how you guys want to set up the account. We can totally help you do that. Two more great questions. Matthew, does the app work offline at all? Answer for you is yes. I'll let Ryan go into a little more detail on that.
Yeah, so we have companies that are like way up in the woods, or even we have some companies that just in the middle of nowhere. So the app, it's native to your phone, and all that means is all the data, if your phone isn't connected to data or Wi-Fi, it will store all of the information on your phone. So the time you're tracking to the project, if you're even taking like photos and you're using our Pro app, it'll store all of that to your phone. And then as soon as the employee gets back to Wi-Fi, or data, it will upload automatically to the cloud. So we are able to work offline. It works exactly the same whether they're offline or not. So they still have the same functionality. They can clock in, clock out, switch from task to task or job to job. It will just let them know. It's a little banner that pops up on the main screen here, and it just shows like you're offline, but same functionality. I'm not going to lose any functionality when I'm offline. So the answer is yes.
Cool. I think we have time for one more question. I think this will probably be a good one to end on as well. It came through earlier. I've been using BusyBusy free for a while. Why can I only see my data for a week?
Yep. And I should have gone into a little more clarity there. So this activity report that shows me jobs we've worked on this week, as well as breaking down like by task or by equipment, what's being used, who's doing what on the job, how many hours we spent on flooring, who's worked on it. All of this information on this activity report, it only lasts a week. So you can see here my subscription is limited. So on Pro, you can go back and look at like by month, by total job. You can have all of that information and it never goes away. But on the free, it only lasts for a week. With the one clarifying thing there is your time entries are going to last forever on the free. So you're never going to lose actual time entries, but the actual like activity reports, job costing reports are only going to stay around for a week, and then it moves on to the next week. But yeah, great question as well. All right,
Awesome.
I appreciate everyone jumping on. Hopefully it was informative on how to best use the BusyBusy free app. And again, I've got that link, and I'll even just add it one more time here. If any of you guys have any additional questions, want to take a closer look at the app, feel free to schedule some time and we can get you guys taken care of. Thanks all.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.